Hi, I don't know how many of you have ever listened to or watched the music video of I Am Not Racist by Joyner. If you haven't yet, check it out. Not now. It's basically a dialogistic rap song attempting to address precarity associated with cultural belongings by discussing cumulative and socially constructed issues of racism. That's too many jargons. I'll put my intellectual glasses down for now. It's basically just two individuals with different races and polarized views came to a more understanding about their limited knowledge of the other through a heated conversation. However, this clear divide of race and polarized views sheds light on how the perception of self and the other can have a significant impact on how we view the world. And this brings us to our today's topic about racial discrimination and othering. So, you might wonder, what is racial discrimination and othering? Why are they interrelated? Well, you might hear this term racial discrimination often enough in our lives, but it's actually a more complicated issue than you think. Here, we'll focus on the interactionist perspective on racial discrimination. Herbert Blumer first coined the term Symbolic Interactionism in 1937, which he argues that the society is created and maintained through repeated interactions among individuals. Thus, racial discrimination and racial prejudice is formed through daily interactions. Othering is one of the forms. In this video, we define othering in sociological terms. To other is to specify individuals as not belonging to a group by placing them outside the norm, thus making them others. Gayatri Spivak was the first person who used the concept of othering in a systematic way in 1985. He analyzed three different dimensions of othering. The first being power, making the subordinate aware of who holds the power and hence about the power for producing the other as subordinate. The second dimension is about constructing the other as pathologically and morally inferior. The last dimension implies that knowledge and technology are the property of the powerful empirical self, not the colonial other. Okay, that's enough of history. Let's face the reality now. Given the context of the current COVID-19 pandemic, I want to narrow it down to the definition that was brought about by Eichelberger, who argues that othering is the process of dissociating themselves from the threat and blaming others. This includes countries, foreigners, stigmatized groups, or other minorities, which helps reduce the powerlessness experienced during the crisis. Through othering, the outgroup and their immoral behavior or cultural norms, perceived as inferior to in-group, should be blamed for the origins and spread of disease. This type of othering has become prevalent and aggravated during the pandemic crisis. Our Asian community across the world has experienced an extraordinary amount of racism, stigmatization, hate crimes, and etc. The Asian-Australian Alliance COVID-19 Racism Incident Report examined 918 incidents from April 2020 to June 2021. Out of the 918 incidents, 35.7% are direct slurs and name-calling. Well, thanks Donald Trump. Masks have been viewed as a symbol of carrying the disease, and when someone is wearing a mask, people would perceive them as virus carriers. Whenever there is a race-related crisis, people of a certain race will experience othering. In a street interview, an Asian American girl expressed her struggle, and I quote, "When there is some type of crisis that affects all human beings, people are grouped back into their categories. We are no longer Asian American friends or co-workers. It's them versus us." People don't really realize how often we categorize ourselves into the in-groups and othering the out-groups. It might be secure or lucky to always live as an in-group in the society. However, no one stands as a permanent in-group in the society, and there's no way the secureness of belonging to the majority lasts forever until we human beings start to disregard the boundaries we actively and constantly set up between each other, or we finally unite as one group. I encourage people to share their experiences of othering in the comments below or via our emails in the description box. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions. If you like our content, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Next time, we'll discuss about online discrimination. Stay tuned. Oh, by the way, if you haven't checked that song out, it is the time.
Pound that then. Talking about slavery like you was around back then.